Welcome into all the weekend dads. Here we go. Week 4 power rankings. We got a new little intro in there. What do you guys think about that? You'll have to let me know what you think about the new little intro. I thought it was just fun. Thought I'd change things up a little bit. We also got a little ticker going on down here. Thought that was pretty cool too. Kind of go through some of the scores. I'll cover some of them briefly, but it just adds to the overall production quality of the show. We're getting a little fancy with it. Had a little extra time, was able to get a little fancy with it, but let's waste no time. Let's break into the power rankings. First, we're going to start off with last week's. Just a quick look at the wins and losses on the week of the different ranks. Something at that point you kind of catch right here. Cheeky Chinchillas and the Chain Gang down there at 4 and 5 both took the L's. Zaid able to get his first W on the season. Was down at 9. We'll have to see if that is able to up his rank here coming up in these next power rankings. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump on into them. So coming in at number 10, it's still going to be Eric down there at number 10. He's 0 and 3. Had a really rough week. I looked at his team. So he had Patrick Mahomes scored 22, DK Metcalf scored 20. His third highest scoring player was Mike Davis with 9 points. So that's just not going to get it done for you, Eric. He was only able to score 92 points on the week. He was faced against the Bebop and Baby Bears, who only put up 101 points. Had a really rough week. McCaffrey injury. T's and P's out to Christian McCaffrey. Hopefully you're back soon. I speak for the Baby Bears that we miss you. But we were down bad in that last weekend dad's power rankings episode, but Bebop and Baby Bears still able to pull out the W against the Tots. And it really just comes down to that Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill stack. He needs literally 30 points from each of those guys to be somewhat competitive in these games. And it's just really hurting them. But go on to number 9. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the Cheeky Chinchillas. Oh, I forgot to mention. So Eric will be playing Mark in the Booty Pebbles this week, and he's currently a 7-point underdog. Number 9, Cheeky Chinchillas. So Jason played Mark, the Booty Pebbles, last week. Was not able to break 100 points, and he had a rough week. So his core receivers was DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs. They didn't really show up for him too much. So he had DeAndre Hopkins 3 points, AJ Brown didn't even break a point, got hurt early. Stephon Diggs 9 points, CeeDee Lamb only 8 points, and that's just not going to get it done for what this team needs to be able to do. Coming up this week, he's going to be playing Zaid, and he's actually going to be a 6-point underdog to Zaid. So I think this first week, Zaid's been a favorite. Moving on to number 8, we got Gibson's. So Colin dropped another spot after still being 0 and 3. We still haven't gotten those big weeks yet. He was missing Dalvin Cook this past week. Alvin Kamara's starting to turn it around a little bit. But he was still only had 100 points on the week. Alvin Kamara had 19, Aaron Rodgers 18, not great for a quarterback. Mike Evans seems to be turning it around. His receivers aren't as bad as they may have looked at the beginning of the season, but he still hasn't been able to get a full week from his team, so he's continuing dropping down the rankings there. But he'll be taking on the Cardboard Hippos this week, and he's currently a 1-point favorite over Dustin. So go ahead and move on to number 7. Number 7, we got the Nutcrackers moving up a spot. So last week, Nutcrackers actually fell to the Hippos, even despite a pretty good scoring week. A lot of controversy over this one with him scoring Sam Darnold. Started Sam Darnold over Justin Herbert, I believe it was. It was a late pickup, late swap. Ended up not mattering as much. We were saying it would have been funny if he'd had swapped Sam Darnold in, and Justin Herbert scored enough for him to get the win, but it didn't end up happening that way. But overall, Austin's team looks pretty good. He's got tons of running backs that have been popping off, and he'll be playing the Bebop and Baby Bears this week. Currently a 2-point favorite. A little nervous about that matchup, but it'll be all right. Moving on to number 6, we got the Chain Gang dropping a spot after another loss this week. So Trevor drops to 1 and 2 on the year. He lost to Zaid, gave Zaid his first win on the season. But the team has been turning around. He had that huge 40-point week from Derrick Henry, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Kareem Hunt had a big week this past week, so Trevor's team's starting to turn it around. He's starting to put up some points now, able to score 120 this past week, and We'll see if he can start to make his run and start making those playoff bets that he's so famous for. Coming at number 5. Oh, I keep forgetting. So Chain Gang will be playing Father of the Mags this week as a 6-point underdog currently. Coming at number 5, we got Zayd's Zappizarillas. So Zayd's team's been popping off. Cooper Kupp has been absolutely outstanding for him. Dustin posted a thing. I think he has like 4 of the top 10 receivers or something like that between like Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore. I don't know if, I think Brandon Cooks is up there too. Look for Dustin to be trading for Brandon Cooks soon. That should be on the horizon, I would assume. But it was a really good week for Zayd. He was able to have Cooper Kupp go off. Saquon was able to get going. I think Aaron Jones put up a good amount of points, so he was able to score 134. He's been a high-scoring team all year. The first 2 weeks, he ran into literally the highest-scoring teams on the whole week. Or I think last week it was second highest-scoring team, whatever. Still, some of the highest-scoring teams, and he's just gotten really unlucky. So, able to find himself up 4 spots, though, out of 9 from last week. Coming up this week, though, he'll be playing the Chinchillas as a 6-point favorite. I look for there to be a lot of beef between him and Jason. So, coming in at number 4, we have the Cardboard Hippos. So Dustin was able to get the win on Austin last week, extend that streak. The question has to be asked: does he own Austin? No, 10-1. A lot of wins and not a lot of losses. Kind of wild. But Dustin's team's been playing great. Josh Allen had an outstanding week. Zeke finally got it going on Monday Night Football, scored 25 points. Dustin was ecstatic about that. And his receivers are really playing well. So he put up a good amount of points this past week. What do you have? 148 on the week. I mean, yeah, there's not much else. He had Justin Tucker hitting that 66-yarder or whatever it was. But yeah, good week for the Hippos. Second highest scoring in points on the week. And yeah, up to number 4, up 2 spots. So coming in at number 3, we have the Bebop and Baby Bears. So following the 2 low-scoring weeks, still getting W's, still 3-0, or advancing to 3-0. The real scary thing here is Christian McCaffrey got injured, so he's expected to miss, I think, 2 to 3 weeks is what it's looking like. The real thing to worry about is going to be that hamstring re-aggravating. So hopefully we don't have issues with that coming up. Really like to see Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts actually start to do something. Falcons offense just look like garbage right now, so yeah, this team was, I think, started the season at number 2, went up to number 1, dropping down a little bit with some injuries. And we got to see what's kind of happening here. I think it's going to be a tipping point coming up soon of if these guys are actually going to work out, or if we're going to have some bust on this team. Yeah, so coming up this week, Bebop and Baby Bears will be playing the Nutcrackers, currently as a 2-point underdog. I believe that's the first time I've been an underdog on the season as well, so definitely watch out for that matchup. Coming in at number 2, we have Booty Pebbles. So Mark actually drops a spot despite getting the win and advancing to 3-0. Didn't have his high scoring of a week as he has been, only scored 109 points. Leading scorer being the defense. Broncos D scored him 17. Pretty interesting, but overall I think Mark's team is pretty good. He had Lockett get hurt. Do you have any other injuries? Let's check it out. I think Lockett's like listed as questionable or something right now. We'll see if he's able to come in. He has Michael Gallup on the IR. Sorry about that, Mark. But yeah, I mean, Mark's team's solid. It looks like he has Chuba right now in for a starting lineup. I know he's been trying to trade him. He's been holding that, literally just waiting for McCaffrey to get hurt, just so I can overpay for him. But we ain't gonna do it, Mark. We ain't gonna do it. But he'll be playing Tots this week. 7-point favorite. I think that's the highest point favorite on the week so far. So let's see if Mark can get revenge on his old roommate. Not really even revenge, just blow out his old roommate. So moving on to number 1, that leaves one team. Father of the Mags, Jimmy. The comeback story of the year already, and we're only in week 4. Like, we started off the draft analysis show the first week of Power Rankings talking about how bad Jimmy's team was, how he had such a terrible draft, whatever. And look at him up at the top of the power rankings. Man, this is going to cause some riots in the chat. But, I mean, Jimmy's team has just turned out to be decent, honestly. And, I mean, he had an amazing week last week, highest scoring on the week. Let me pull up his team. I mean, Kyler Murray's been incredible for him. His wide receivers, Jamar Chase, is apparently all the offseason stuff or all the preseason stuff was it was just smoke. There was no actual truth to it because he's been balling out. Mike Williams is one of the top receivers. Looks like he's the number 2 receiver on the year. Devontae Adams has finally got it going with Aaron Rodgers now. So I mean, it's kind of working out for old Jimmy here. So we'll see how it continues to go for him. He'll be playing the Chain Gang this week. Currently a 6-point underdog against Trevor, or 6-point favorite. He's going to be 6-point favorite on Trevor. We'll see if Jimmy can hold down that number 1 spot. It'd be interesting to see how these shuffle up after this week. So now it's time to announce our Wolfie's game of the week for week 4. He was pretty quick to naming this one. We're just going to go ahead and reveal it. So it's going to be the number 9 Cheeky Chinchillas against number 5 Zal's Zappy Zorillas. And this is a bowl game. This has been nominated as the, I reckon, Loser Leaves Town Bowl. Yalla. So definitely be keeping an eye on this one. Currently, Jason is 3-4 historically against Zaid. So Jason's going to be looking to tie up that score. Zaid's going to be looking to extend that history or historical lead basically on Jason. I know Zaid's going to be really excited to hear that he historically has beaten Jason more than Jason's beat him. So that's going to do it for our power rankings though this week. Let me know, again, thoughts of the rankings in the comments. Let me know on the new format, the new graphics, all that type of stuff. I know you guys usually like it when I change things up or think it's cool. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it on Twitter. Get all those animal Twitter accounts going, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.